I am Terry Polanin. I'd like to welcome you here tonight to the Couri Center. This is our third program for the Liver Detox program. And let's see, I'd like to thank Danny. He's our orthomolecular representative, and Orthomolecular is the company that we support that has the Core Restore Detox Kit that we'll be talking to you more about. Leslie's back in the back there. She's our registered dietitian. Most of you know her. I'm sure probably all of you know her. And she'll be doing some of the talk tonight too. I want to also thank Cheryl, who's our new person in marketing that's helped me make these slides, because I used to use the old-fashioned ones, which I really prefer, so you don't have to deal with all the PowerPoint stuff. And I want to thank Dr. Couri. I have been a nurse practitioner she's standing back there. I think you all know her. I have been a nurse practitioner for 35 years and worked with many physicians over the years when I first started. And I can honestly say I've worked with a lot of really, really great physicians, but she is the first one that I found, and this has been almost 5 years ago, that has a passion for not only helping people when they're sick or when they have period problems or whatever else you might come here for, but for helping people look at their whole situation, their mind, their body, their spirit, and trying to look at preventing chronic diseases, reducing people's risks. And I thank her. It's her vision that brought us all here together, you all included. I started out in intensive care and, of course, working with a lot of people that were very, very sick, and decided that there had to be a better way to help people. Not that you don't need help in intensive care, but to prevent problems that got people into there. And so I started, that's one of the reasons I wanted to go into the nurse practitioner role, because it is more of a wellness focus. But it's been, as you know, modern medicine is so disease-oriented, and not that we don't need that, but to be part of a practice that is preventive and wellness-oriented has just really been a blessing to me. So we are starting the program tonight. We're calling it the Spring Clean Your Body in 7. I wanted to put a little bit different approach to the program tonight. The first one we did was more of a kind of treatment of different illnesses that you might have, which is certainly a good reason to do a detox. We've talked a little bit about prevention. Tonight I want to expand the preventive, because I think there's so much more that you can do this week when you start your detox. We're looking at new life. Cheers for spring, new life, new flowers. I had lilacs up here, they disappeared. Anyway, oh, there they are. My mom has a beautiful row of lilacs, and we're looking at the beauty around us and new beginnings. And so I want you to kind of look at this as not just a liver detoxification, which we think is very important, but you're going to be detoxifying, including your mind and your spirit as well. Who wants to spring clean? Not too many people. I brought a broom that I'm going to give away. Because I really don't like to clean, so luckily my husband likes to, so he helps me out with that. But this is not going to be your cleaning kit tonight. You are going, if you decide to join us, this is the Core Restore Detoxification Kit, and this is your equipment for tonight. So I'll be telling you a little bit more about that. Is this how you feel? I know how I felt the first time I did this, and I had to work up to it, but we really don't want you to feel that way. We really want you to start to feel like this is really a positive thing. I think when you can't have a healthy body without having a healthy mind and a spirit, and vice versa. So we're hoping you're not that little dog at the end of this program, and that you'll join us in helping us to start the detox. When we're talking about detoxification, we're talking about the process of removing impurities from the body and activating the body's natural ability to remove these and to purify. And I think there's a lot of detox programs out there, cleanses, whatever you want to call them. We have chosen to support orthomolecular and the Core Restore because It is scientifically based. We feel that it's a quality product. There's no FDA regulations on these products and things, so you really want to trust your provider that recommends it, and trust the company that you're buying things from in things like this, as well as supplements and vitamins and things. So this kit we really like. It's got a little book in it that's your handbook for 7 days that will give you guidelines. Very easy to follow, gives you recipes and everything. I'll talk more about that in a minute. We're going to be doing some online motivational things. Dr. Couri does the detox. She's going to be detoxing with us. And so we'll be giving you shout outs and supportive emails as we go along. So that is also good. And I think you're going to have a team. We're going to have a lot of people in the office doing this, and so we'll have a team spirit, and we all need a tribe. So this is going to be your detox tribe, and that'll help your spirit, hopefully. When we talk about the detox, and this is the orthomolecular philosophy, it's basically removing harmful toxins, which we're going to talk all about. What are harmful toxins? Because there's external and internal toxins. We're going to restore. There is a lot more research on how important it is to have a healthy gut, and so we're going to hopefully improve the health of your gut, as well as give you a little bit more positive outlook on how you can approach life, which I think will help as well. And then we're going to revitalize, hopefully re-energize. We're going to give you good nutrients. The Core Restore has got great vitamins, as well as the antioxidants and things that are in the product, and I think that'll give you good energy, hopefully. So what are toxins? Basically any substance that has harmful effects on the body is what we would call a toxin. And we have this wonderful, amazing body with a liver that is our filter. And every once in a while, just as your car needs a filter change or an oil change, so does your liver. And so that's what we're calling this, is a liver filter change. When the toxins that are coming into us from our environment exceed your liver's ability to remove them, that's when you have inflammatory problems going on. We have found a lot of people with many symptoms relative to inflammation, and also toxins are stored in fat. So they're attracted into the fat, and that's where they stay. And so that's another reason that we're having problems in America with people being overweight and all the diseases that are occurring because of that. So what are some of the external toxins that we have coming at us? Well, certainly polluted air, auto exhaust fumes, there are metals, solvents, paint and cleaning supplies, pesticides, herbicides, things that are just all around us that we don't even, you don't even think about because it's just everyday life in the United States. Radiation, inhalants, things that we're breathing. Since World War II, there have been over 85,000 synthetic chemicals registered to the U.S. Department of Environmental Protection Agency. That is a lot of chemicals in our country. Each year, an estimated 2,000 new chemicals are developed, either in the form of foods, personal items, medications, things that we're putting on our bodies, things that are being sprayed around us, lawn care products. And roughly 3,000 new chemicals are manufactured and imported into the United States. It's a lot of things for our liver to filter out. This is a slide. The Collaborative on Health and Environment did a study about where everybody's trying to look at why we have such a problem with obesity and overweight in America. And there have been certainly indications that some of the toxins that we are exposed to are contributing that, because if you stop and think about, fat is attracting these toxins, we're storing it in the fat. It's kind of a vicious cycle, but some of these things have been indicated, plasticizers, the BPA, water repellents, flame retardants. Think of things that, everybody just assumes we all need and maybe do, but commercial detergents, herbicides, just a lot of things that impact us. But it's not just external toxins. There's a lot of things going on in our bodies that we are finding out impact us as well. We have hormones, we have metabolic processes. We have so many more people in the United States with diabetes and high cholesterol and heart disease, and you can go on and on. Undigested food, again, if you don't have a healthy gut, it can become inflamed and become a leaky gut, and that can cause all kinds of systemic problems for people. Stress. Who would ever think that stress and unresolved trauma and unhappy relationships could cause problems for us? But it does. Stress causes an oxidative process which causes all kinds of problems for cellular inflammation. And people don't even realize that, I don't think. Which is why I want to talk to you about the mind and spirit, as well as the body. This is a slide just showing all of those things that impact us. Radiation, stress, lifestyle, diet, pollution, all kinds of things are coming at the human body. So why do we believe it's important to detox? An imbalanced diet, harmful beauty products. We have a talk coming up in September by Hope Plaker, our physician assistant. She's going to be talking to you more about how the things that we're putting on us or using in makeup is affecting us. It also affects your appearance and how you feel about yourself. Just feeling inflamed or having a toxic burden, we just don't feel good. Your body wasn't designed to deal with all of this, and I think by lowering these toxins and the environmental exposure, it will help people to feel better, and we hope that that's how you will feel when you get finished with it, and reduce your risk of chronic disease. I think, we're all born with what we think is hopefully normal health or a healthy body, and we have choices to make in this. We can go along thinking, we're always going to stay healthy, and then hopefully you do, or you can kind of choose your course, and you can make conscious decisions that are going to help you to decide, this is the way I want to go. These are the things that I want to eat and the things that I want to put on me and that I'm exposed to, and you can make those decisions. We think that after the detox, your energy will improve, you'll feel better because you're ridding yourself of the toxins. In the beginning of the detox, you may not always feel quite, or the first couple of days you might not feel quite as energetic, and that depends on how toxic you are, and we'll get to figuring that out in a minute. But you will probably feel a little tired depending on how toxic you are. That is your body getting rid of all of these impurities. We hope that you'll feel better. We think that it will stimulate weight loss. It's really not a diet. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. It's more of a healthy lifestyle. And so we feel like if you're eating healthier maybe than you have been in the past, you're getting a little bit more activity, you will lose some weight if that's something you'd like to do. You'll feel better. Your brain will be clearer. You'll have better digestion, and you'll just be having better lifestyle habits. You have a packet, I think it was on your chair, and this slide is in there. We have so many people in the United States, or even in our practice, that want to lose weight or feel like they need to lose weight. And I really would like to say this also, that your weight is not always about the scale. It's about how you feel and how your body is internally. But we do feel like the detox will help you if you eat healthy and you're developing lean muscle, that you will feel better and you will lose weight, as opposed you'll maintain that weight loss, as opposed to people that go on the crash, quick, very low calorie diets and just keep gaining it back because your body's getting those toxins. It's trying to refat to get to get rid of the toxins, and so hopefully that if that is something that you're interested in, it will help you. Inflammation, I mentioned that in an earlier slide. There's a lot of research out, and if those of you that come to our practice, we're ordering labs that look at inflammatory markers. Dr. Couri is going to be talking in a few months about that a little bit more, and knowing what your numbers are. Probably fall down over this thing here. But if you think about like inflammation, if you cut your hand and it gets red and swollen and warm, that's your body trying to bring all the immunities and the nutrients to try to heal. That can also be what's going on internally in us. Your body is trying to fight off all these toxins that are insults to it, and there now are labs even that we can measure to get a little idea of what's going on for you internally. So we really want to try to eat foods that are anti-inflammatory, the veggies, the fruits, the walnuts, chia seeds, things that are going to reduce the inflammation in our bodies as opposed to all the processed types of foods. This little kitty's feeling inflamed. I don't know if you've ever felt that way before, but it looks like she has. So who are candidates for the spring cleaning? Really anybody that wants to do like a health maintenance 6 to 12 month oil change. It's totally healthy to do that. Anyone certainly that's exposed, that smokes or is exposed to excess alcohol or medications, industrial chemicals. Anybody that's overweight, has hormone imbalances, gut issues, thyroid issues. There's a lot of reasons, and there's more in your book even, that, bless you, that you might want to detox. And I think we'll find that you feel better afterwards. Anybody that's stressed. So in your packet, if you want to take a look, there are a couple of questionnaires that look like this. There's a before and an after. And if you decide you're going to do this, or even if you don't do it, it's just not a bad idea to complete that. The before, it is getting warm in here, isn't it? To complete the before questionnaire prior to doing the detox, and then 7 days after you're finished, do the follow-up one, just so that you can get your toxic score, because it's an indication of the toxic burden and the amount of inflammation that you have in your bodies. And it'll help us to know, where we can help you if you're interested. So we're going to do some spring cleaning, not with this, as I said, but with the Core Restore Kit. So when you go to do spring cleaning, if any of you do that, not my favorite thing, but you think ahead. You decide what kind of equipment you need and what day you're going to do it on, and you kind of prepare for it. So that's what we want you to do with this program. To review the booklet, because it has many recipes in it. There is a handout in your packet that's got a grocery list on it. The kits, if you're interested in joining us, the kits will not be here until Friday. So we want you to pre-order them so that we can get them ordered. But I wanted you to have a grocery list so you could start shopping and thinking ahead if you wanted to. If you're lucky, your husband does the grocery shopping like mine, it's another thing I don't like to do, and he does, so I'm very lucky. So shop in advance. I think anybody is more successful when they're changing eating habits if they do think about their meals ahead of time. So look at your booklet, decide what you're going to have on certain days, make sure you've got the proper foods, because if you don't, you'll end up grabbing probably something more inflammatory. And so have that available for you. Mentally prepare. This is going to be about you thinking positively, mentally preparing for this. And another thing that I would caution you, if any of you are caffeine drinkers, this was a bigger thing for me. Not that I drink a lot, but I do like my 1 cup in the morning. And so we would like to see if you can start weaning off caffeine prior to the week that we start. So you might start practicing that. And don't cold turkey it. You'll feel like you have the flu if you drink very much coffee. Just gradually start weaning down, or maybe go half calf and half decaf, something like that. Oh, and we did decide, because the kits are coming in on Friday and we want to give you a little time to prepare, and we've got Mother's Day weekend, so you have to plan all this ahead. So we did decide that as a group, we'll start the detox the day after Mother's Day. Now that doesn't mean you have to start it then, if that doesn't work for you. But we thought that might be the best time to start on a Monday. If you want to start on the weekend, that's fine, but that's the day that we're going to start, and Dr. Couri will be giving you some hints and pearls and encouragement along the way on that day. So mark May 11th on your calendar if you want to. So optimum health. What is optimum health? I think that is something that I really want to talk to you more about, because I think optimum health requires that the mind, the physical body, and the spirit be in balance. And as I said, I don't think you can have a healthy body without a healthy mind and spirit. So we want you to start thinking a little bit differently maybe than you've thought before. To me, optimal health is not perfect health. It's not, may not even be what you might call normal health, but it is your own personal best process and journey towards making some healthier choices, optimizing what you can do to steer this course for your future, because you can look all around at people and really see the wear and tear of the things that people are eating that are not as healthy, the lack of exercise, the stress, and you can see this takes a toll on people as they age, but you can interrupt that process if you choose to do that. Also, people will say, well, I have genes that I can't do anything about it. I've got all kinds of heart disease in my family. Well, that's not true, because there is more and more research out that says, okay, you've got these genes, but how they express themselves is what we're learning more and more about in science, and that you can control by making choices that are going to be less inflammatory and healthier for you. Optimal health is a conscious choice. That's another thing that I think is something that we have to start thinking about too. It's more than not being sick. A lot of times people think they're healthy if they're not sick. That's not always true. It's actively and purposefully behaving in ways that leave you stronger, better nourished, less stressed, and more comfortable in your body, mind, and your spirit. And I think we don't often recognize the burden of the environment and the things that we're being exposed to. For instance, if you look in the mirror and you maybe think to yourself, I hope maybe you think to yourself something positively rather than being critical, but you think, well, I guess I look pretty healthy, but then you stop and think, well, do I ever stop and get fast foods? Do I eat things out of a bag or a box, which we all do because that's what's there anymore? Do I drink my 6 or 8 glasses of water, which by the way will stimulate your metabolism if you really get your good water intake in? Do I get any exercise? Do I get any activity? Do I at least get my 30 minutes in most days? So I think those are things that we all have to start thinking about when we're trying to detox our entire body. Okay, so I don't know if you've ever been eating a salad. This is my face when I'm eating a salad and someone brings in donuts. I hope that's not you. So the Core Restore, another point that I want to make is that it's not a diet. I really hate that word because it to me indicates something that you go on and off. And what we're really trying to impress on you is even if you just make 1 or 2 changes, this is your journey towards optimum health, which are lifestyle habits that you can develop for the rest of your life. It's not a diet. And I think there's a lot of controversy about what is the optimum diet. I mean, I'm sure you've read a lot out in the ladies' magazines and different places on, what is the right way to eat. I'm not even sure the jury is in on that yet, but I think there is consensus for sure that vegetables are your mainstay and your staple. I've told people for years if they can have half their plate be vegetables, that's a start in a healthy eating plan. So trying to have them organic, ideal if you can or if they're available. If you can't, then there is a recipe in the Core Restore book on how you can wash the vegetables, soak them in solution of apple cider vinegar and baking soda and lemon and water, I believe. And so at least you try to get some of the toxins off. So there's kind of a lot of options out there. I think if you start to think in eating like you can hunt, pick, and gather like our ancestors used to, you'll think more vegetables, fruits. I think probably we all, agree now that we do need some protein, and there's nothing wrong with a little animal protein. In fact, it may be the coming thing now, and probably is. But, trying to eat organic protein is probably best, because then you're not getting the animals, especially the cows that have eaten been injected with hormones and all the antibiotics and things like that are then going into us and affecting our estrogen levels. And so, I think eating organic is probably your best bet. Sugar has become our staple in this country, and I think when President Eisenhower, I read this, when President Eisenhower had his heart attack in whatever year that was, in the 60s somewhere, fat was vilified. And so everybody was told, don't eat any fat. I can remember this. That's how old I am. And so we started eating more carbs and more sugar. And sugar is like an opiate if you like sugar. The more you eat, the more you want. It's, and it's something that our bodies go to and gravitate to, but it's causing, they believe now, it is believed, that sugar is probably what's really the cause of the cholesterol and diabetes and weight problems in the United States. So we're going to try to detox you from sugar this week too, and hopefully you'll be all right with that. I think the other thing, and a lot of you know about the trying to reduce your gluten and your wheat. There's a lot of foods that are now so processed that the whole grain wheats and things that we've eaten for years are no longer whole grain. They're all processed down and turn into sugar when we eat them. So a lot of people are finding that they're sensitive to glutens. And so this eating plan this week will be, in a nutshell, you'll be basically not having gluten, not having a lot of soy. We're going to try to reduce your caffeine, your alcohol, give you some organic, if you'd like some organic meat, that's certainly fine. Lots of veggies and fruits. So I really think you'll be surprised at how you feel once you kind of detox from maybe the processed foods and the things you might be exposed to. Maybe you don't eat that way, but there's very few of us that don't, because it's what's around and we're busy and it's convenient and it takes some time. I didn't mention this on the other slide about preparing. I spend a lot of time on Sundays cutting up things so that I can have my veggies and I've been trying to make some of the recipes in the book. So I've had the it's sweet potato shepherd's pie, and different things that you'll find are in here, and it takes some cutting and some preparing, but then you're so glad when it's done and you've got it to grab to take to work or to have when you get home at night. Crock potting is good too if you're working, and that makes a difference. Okay. My husband and I started doing the Building Steam program a few years ago, and it's to get ready to run the steamboat race, and this is me. My husband's running along there, or you can see it up there. Oh, they said run. I thought they said rum, and I don't like rum, but I think we all are active for different reasons. This is not mine, but I do want to encourage you when we're talking about your bodies that you do a little bit of exercise. I have been doing an online course by this lady, and I am so inspired by her. It's Dr. Christine Northrup. I don't know if a few years ago, she's written several books, but a few years ago, the first one I read was called The Wisdom of Menopause. And it's just a very positive approach for women about this change in their life. So she is gradually aging, as we all are. And she's now written Goddesses Never Age. The program that I'm doing is called Glorious Women Never Age. And so she talks about doing things that you enjoy and doing some sort of exercise that you enjoy. So what I want you to do is stand up. Or if you can't all stand up, just every other one or something like that. And you can't probably see me, but one of the things she talks about, and I totally agree with her, is she likes to watch Downton Abbey, and I do too. I don't know if any of you watch that, but Dr. Couri got me onto it, and I love Downton Abbey. Don't anybody interrupt me on Sunday nights. Well, it's off now, but. So there's a lady also on there, Maggie Smith, and I totally admire her and am inspired by her. And she, I don't know what her age is, that doesn't matter, but she always they wear these beautiful clothes, and they're very heavy. So I think they're doing their weight-bearing exercises just when they're moving around. But when and you can't all see me now that you're standing up, but I want you to try to sit down like you're Maggie Smith at Downton Abbey. You can hang on to each other if you need to. Very slowly, sit down into your chair. Okay, there we go. That was your first weight-bearing exercise. Also, one of the main reasons people go into nursing homes is because of incontinence. And because they have to go to the bathroom really quick and they get up and they don't have strong quads and they fall. And that is one of the biggest reasons. Plus, people that sit all the time don't have very strong pelvic floor muscles. So, in fact, I meant to tell you to do this. As you were sitting down like Maggie, do a Kegel exercise, because that will strengthen your pelvic floor muscles as well as help to strengthen your quads. So if you don't do any other kind of activity this week, I want you to practice sitting down and getting up on your chair. In fact, I have to tell another story that I teach nursing students at St. Francis, and we had a student at an assisted living place, and she had a client that couldn't go to Walmart, get on the bus, step up on the bus because she couldn't get herself up. And so my student started teaching her to sit down in this chair without hanging on. You can teach anybody you know to do it. By the end of the semester, she was able to get on that bus and go to Walmart just because she strengthened her quad muscles. So it doesn't matter what kind of exercise you do. You can do sitting and standing. You can run if you want to. Walking is great. Moving furniture. Walking the dog, lifting things. It doesn't matter what you do. There's core, there's Pilates, there's all kinds of things out there. And it sometimes is a little confusing to know what is the best kind of exercise. But what do you think is the best kind of exercise? Walking? What'd you say? Exactly. Whatever you'll do. Yeah, if it's just sitting down in your chair a few times a day, or doing your Kegel exercises, which is great, then whatever you'll do, just do it, even if it's only 5 minutes. Okay, stand up again. We all sit, well, some of us sit quite a bit, and that is also, as I said, not good for us, but Dr. Northrup suggests that well, I can't do it because I've got all this hardware hooked to me, but she suggests that 20 seconds every hour, you either march in place or run in place. So I was going to have you run in place, but I'm afraid I'll lose my mics. So if you're sitting or if you're in a job or something and you're not able to get activity, just march in place or run, even run, and just do whatever feels good, because sometimes being silly makes you feel better too. Okay, we can all sit down now that we've worked up a sweat. Let's see. Oh, exercise will also improve the brain cells too, and you'll feel better. Does it make you kind of feel, when you're doing something, you feel better about yourself? The other thing is improving your mind, and this is, I think, very important part of the detox. I want you to try to think positively, have a positive attitude, do positive self-talk. We look in the mirror and we're so critical of ourselves, and I really think if words matter to our bodies, we can self-heal. And if we start telling ourselves that we like what we see, or at least pick out something that you like, rather than my hair doesn't look right, or I've got this zit on my face, or whatever you might say when you look in the mirror, if you can just start doing some positive self-talk and a positive attitude. By the year 2030, there will be 600,000 people in the United States that are over 100. And one of the things I was watching with Dr. Northrup said, you know, we need to start thinking about how we want to live our lives and how we want to age so that we can age in the way that we want to, so that we can be healthy and be happy and have positive attitude. And I have to say that my mom, who's sitting here, is one of my mentors. And she, I won't even say what's your age, but anyway, she's over 50. She started having some knee issues and decided that she needed to do some exercise, which she's been told that before, but didn't pay attention. Decided she would go to Riverplex, so now she goes 3 days a week to the Riverplex and does water exercises, and I really feel like her balance, her knees are better. She's met people there that, you know, you can socialize with. There's a lot of good things about getting exercise and getting stronger and being balanced as we go forward so that we can age as wonderfully as we want to. The other thing, and one of the nurses when I was talking about this mentioned, is that we want to detox from technology. Did you see how they were, all this stuff that's, you know, luckily somebody else knows how to set up because I don't. But I think sometimes we just need to set down our cell phones or turn off the TV, you know, especially if you've got families. Turn off the TV and play a game or do something that's not with technology, and it'll give you a break. How many of you remember the days where there were no cell phones and you could go on vacation and you didn't know what was going on for a week, you know, you didn't know anything about your work or your family or whatever, and I think that was very de-stressing. And so now we're constantly on call, and that, you know, eventually I think causes toxins that can do cellular damage. This is my mother-in-law and my husband. She is 91, will be 92 in a couple weeks, and she decided she wanted to play a little golf again. So they went out and hit shag balls. This was last spring when she was 91. She was able to do it. Positive attitude. She's got a recurrence of breast cancer, but she's still out there shooting. She doesn't play golf anymore, but she still goes out and shoots shags. I've got a lot of glorious women in my life, and that's why I want you all to be that way too, because it really helps to have tribes of people that support you, that are positive and that make you feel good. Boy, now I can't read this on my slide, but beautiful and graceful, varied and enchanting, small but approachable, butterflies lead us to the sunny side of life, and everyone deserves a little sunshine. So we've kind of talked a bit about this, but I want you to try to have this kind of ageless spirit. And as I said, no one's perfect, and you may not have perfect health, but forgive yourself. If you feel like you have made some bad choices, that's in the past. Start from today. Forgive yourself or somebody else. It's also very healing, and that will improve your spirit and how you feel. Hang out with positive people. My mom still meets with her kindergarten friends, her college friends, her teacher friends. You know, I think it helps to have tribes of people that you enjoy being with, and it makes you feel better. Do something that is something that you like to do. Learn something new. Learn to tango. Learn to golf. Learn to get a pet. Do something with your pet. Ride a horse. Do whatever makes you feel good. In fact, there's another thing that Dr. Northrup I thought was so hysterical. I have to share it with you. She said that she did a survey and asked people what they thought about aging. And one lady said, well, she'd like to age like Katharine Hepburn. Beautiful, didn't change her hair much, didn't wear many modern clothes, had beautiful wrinkles. She just had the wisdom and elegance of aging. And some other lady wrote in and she said, nope, not me. She said, I want my obituary to read, fell off platform shoes at the senior center while pole dancing, broke neck, died instantly at 104. So you decide how you want yours to read, but I thought that was hysterical. Anyway, so, you know, learn to course correct. If things don't go right, change it. I'd like you this week to also maybe do some deep breathing, relaxation exercises. Prayer is also helpful when you're trying to de-stress. Meditation, yoga, all of these things I think will help you as you detox from the stressful lives that we live in. We also have a sauna, which I wanted to mention to you tonight. It's a wonderful experience. I just did it last week. It's an infrared sauna. It's not steam, so you don't feel like you're all steamy. It heats the body, not the air. And there's a research on it being anti-aging, good for your skin, helps with relaxation, detoxing, weight loss, things like that. So you might try that if you're at all interested in something. Years ago, I have to say, I tanned in a booth, which I think is awful now, but until I realized that it was not bad for you, it was very, very relaxing to just have 10 minutes where no one was at you and you just felt the warmth and the heat. That's what you can feel in the sauna without the bad effects of it. I quit tanning a long time ago after I learned that there's 3 times the risk of deadly melanoma with people that artificially tan. So, but think about doing the sauna if you want to give yourself a little treat, which you should. Oh, this is my horse. He is something I love, and he's 29 years old. We had the same birthday last week. He turned 29. I won't tell you mine. He's my relaxation, and I keep him at a barn, and he's got a lot of little kids that lease him and ride him, and people that love him and do things like that you enjoy, and it'll be uplifting to you. Cute little animals, little puppies, stimulate the endorphins and make you feel happy. And that is what happens when you exercise or when you do things for other people or when you are doing things that are going to enhance your spirit. It builds these endorphins that are brain neurochemicals that make you feel better. And so get a puppy. This is my puppy. This is Brutus. All the people here know Brutus eats everything in sight, but he was actually looking at a brownie or something my daughter-in-law was eating one day and really wanting it, and he's been known to eat whole chickens and big bags of candy or whatever is around that the kids left. But puppies and dogs are uplifting too in people's lives, and that's always a good thing too if you can, or kittens. Leslie, I think, is going to talk to you and give you some more, there she is, give you some more information, more detail. Leslie's, as I said, our registered dietitian, and she's going to go through kind of the nitty-gritty of the detox program. We do want you to be sure that you check with your healthcare provider if you have any of these situations. We don't recommend it for children. If you're pregnant or breastfeeding or any of these other situations on here, we would want you to check with your doctor or your provider before. So we'll give this to you, Leslie, and this is the little thing you just push on the side. Just push like that, right there. Yep.
Hey, Terry, can you go back to that slide and just read those, because those of us in the back.
Oh, yes, yeah. Check with your healthcare provider if you're under 18, are pregnant or breastfeeding. We definitely don't want you doing it if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. Have an eating disorder, diabetes, type 1 or type 2, kidney disease, appendicitis, gallbladder disease, liver disease, chronic hepatitis, or a senior over 65. And so, just check with your doctor and be sure if those apply to you. Just because it's a huge change in your diet, and there's the supplements and the vitamins and things, and we just want you to be sure you're safe with it.
Okay. I have been kind of showing people how to do this detox for the last 4 years, and I have a lot of people here who have done it. And I will tell you, if you have not done it, take all your kind of notions of how bad you think it's going to be and lower it by about 10. Okay? It is not that bad. I always tell people, my husband's done it twice. He lived. He's the biggest pimp in the world. So if he can do it, you will be just fine. As we said before, it is. It is 7 days. Okay. So there are a list of foods in your book that are going to increase detoxification. So these are our natural detoxifiers. I call these our super scrubbers. So these are the foods that are going to go into your body and themselves promote even more detoxification than what this process is already going to do. So the more that you can have lots of your fruits, so your berries, your bananas, your apples, things like that. Any form of vegetable, we are going to eliminate corn and soy and anything that's canned in a sauce. You know, something like a frozen broccoli with cheese on top. You know, obviously that's not what we're gonna go for. The grains that we're gonna eat, any kind of gluten-free whole grain. So we're gonna do quinoa, rice is fine. In your book it also says you can do a rice cake as long as it has either almond butter or hummus on it. And then any kind of nut or seed, we're gonna eliminate peanuts, and then your beans and your legumes. Yes?
I'm hearing a lot about not taking in grain. Are they talking about GMO grain?
We are just talking about any form of grain that is not rice or quinoa right now.
Okay.
There are a lovely list in the book of foods we're going to avoid for the entire week. Okay, so to that list we're going to add grapefruits and oranges, any gluten-containing food, including processed grains, sugar, dairy, any kind of non-organic product, peanuts, processed foods, caffeine and alcohol, and your corn and soy. Little side note on the caffeine and alcohol. If you are a caffeine junkie and you feel like this is going to be a really bad week coming off the caffeine, the little information I give to people is if you get a raging headache and you feel like this is not going to work, I would rather you give yourself a little bit of coffee or something like that to kind of pull your headache back than to take an Advil, a Tylenol, an Aleve, something like that. So it's okay, you know, you don't have to be perfect, just do the best that you can. And then tons and tons of recipes. This book that comes with your detox, there are probably 15, 20 different recipes in here. Anything from quinoa stuffed peppers. There are some great spaghetti marinara, but it uses spaghetti squash instead of actual spaghetti noodles. A really great sweet potato shepherd's pie. There's a 3-bean salad in there that people go crazy for. A great lentil soup, stuff like that. They're all delicious.
And you can make them up ahead and put them in a crock pot even.
Absolutely. Staples. You need to have food. Do not starve yourself through this. It will make it that much worse. So things to keep around: hummus and vegetables, sweet potato fries, easy. Cut up a sweet potato, stick it in the oven with a little bit of oil. You're set. You're ready to go. Different soups, bean burgers, rice cakes, things like that. Okay. So the way this is going to work, I always say you've got day 1 and 2, and you've got days 3 through 7. First 2 days, when you read this book, the literature will tell you to fast. We do not want you to fast, okay? So make a note, first 2 days, you may have all the fruits and vegetables that you want. Yes?
Sorry, but are you talking hummus? Are you talking bean hummus? Or are you talking, what do you call it, the garbanzo bean?
Either way. They're both fine, yeah. But those first 2 days, we're just doing fruits and vegetables. So the way it's gonna work, morning and night, you're gonna make a shake. You may put anything in your shake as long as it is fruit and vegetable based. So if anybody tried the almond butter shake today, we're not gonna have that until day 3. So any kind of frozen fruit, you can put bananas in it. I usually put some spinach or some kale, a little bit of water, something like that. Late afternoon, I usually say probably more morning, mid-morning, mid-lunch, something like that. Eat. You're going to be hungry. So you can do vegetable soup. You can do some sort of roasted vegetable, a salad, baked potato, something like that, just to kind of fill yourself for lunch. And then come late afternoon and evening, we're going to have another shake. Okay? I will tell you these shakes are wonderful because they stick to your bones. You will not be hungry in the slightest, coming from a hungry girl. Okay? I would say give it a good 4 or 5 hours, you're going to be full. And then after you have dinner, that shake, you're more than welcome to eat again if you feel like you need food again before you go to bed. First 2 days, they're going to be your worst. By worst, I say it's going to feel like you might have a little bit of a touch of the flu coming on. You might be a little achy, kind of irritable, tired. A little bit of sleepiness. Depending on the person, you might have a little bit of increased elimination, you might not. Nothing out of control. You will not feel like you're gushing anything from anywhere. Everything is very controllable. I promise.
I didn't have much problem with energy. I
No, and I
didn't,
worked.
so.
You know, I worked, had no issue with it at all. Day 3 through 7, life comes back. Day 3 through 7, this is when you can start putting your beans back in. You can have your grains. You can also have your nuts. Okay? So again, same thing. We're going to do a shake in the morning. We're going to do a shake at night. Different things that you can add in at this point. This is when you can have your hummus, no matter what kind, whether it's bean or maybe do a beet hummus or something like that. Absolutely fine. You can start putting in the different kinds of, if you would like, you can do your organic meats. I usually tell people, if you don't need them, don't eat them. You know, really stick to fruits and vegetables this week. If you do feel like your energy is just in the tank and you need a little bit of meat, go for it. No problem at all. Other than that, I really think on day 3, your energy peps up because you got food going back through your body and your elimination system really starts working. So we're going to start getting all these toxins that we've pulled out of all the nooks and crannies of your body and start getting them out of your body. So you're going to feel a lot better. Okay, so this is the recipe that I usually use on days 1 through 2 for the shake. Again, basically, I'm going to put in any kind of frozen fruit. So I just buy it from the local grocery store, or since we're in spring, to tell you the truth, if you want to buy it fresh and then stick it in the freezer, it's probably going to be a little bit cheaper because we're in season. Put it in your blender, however much you want. I usually put a banana. If you're kind of not a fan of banana, put in half a banana. You can also do avocado. Couple ice cubes. Like I said, I like to put in some spinach and some kale. Some people like to put in mint, you know, things like that to give it a little extra flavor. Again, just fruit and vegetable based. And then blend it up. Mine, usually, a lot of the times I use this black blender. It's probably halfway full. So mine are probably 32 ounces, a little bit more. Doesn't matter. Make it, make sure you get your 2 scoops in. However big, however thick, anything's fine. And then again, here's a little bit of a sample menu. So if we start on Monday, this would be day 3. We've got a smoothie, we've got your bean soup, maybe you have a little bit of sweet potato pie, and maybe you're gonna have some veggies and hummus, things like that. So there's still plenty of food. Again, please do not go into this thinking that you're gonna cut your food back because you need to eat. I can't even read this. Okay, helpful hints, for sure. Track your intake, not only because we're truthfully not that worried about calories. However, remember we are eliminating all allergens. So if you feel as though you might have some food sensitivities, if you feel you might have some gut issues, things like that, track your food. Track if you feel better. At the end of the detox, when you start putting foods back in, continue tracking so that if for some odd reason you start having headaches, you get fatigued again, your joint pain returns, something like that, you have the ability now to figure out, okay, what could possibly be causing that and eliminate it again. Remember, this is not long-term. This is 7 days, okay? It is not meant to be a long-term weight loss program. However, it can certainly be used to get you on the right track, okay? You will notice coming out of it, your sugar cravings will be much, much, much lower. You will not need caffeine in the morning. You will feel like you are functioning a lot more efficiently. Certainly if you smoke, obviously any form of reduction is going to be helpful. You know, we're certainly working on that. And your initial side effects those first 2 days. Yes, it might not be, you know, a walk in the park, but it's 2 days. You can get through those 2 days. It will not be that big of a deal once you get through the rest of it. Again, avoid those foods that are on page 17 in your book. Those are your high sensitivity foods that we're eliminating. Use as many fresh herbs as you possibly can. Avoid any kind of packaged or processed food if possible. Filtered water if possible. If not, don't worry about it. Please drink water. You know, whatever you have available. Same thing with the caffeine, the soda, the alcohol, the black tea, any kind of processed drink. Again, if something comes up and you are just fighting this killer migraine, do what you can to get your sanity back and then continue with the process. Again, 6 to 8 ounces of water per day, and this does sadly limit your calories. I usually tell people, don't worry about calories, just worry about detoxing. You know, get your head around the detox. Chances are you're going to decrease your calories anyway because you're mostly eating a vegan diet, so it's not a huge concern. You know, if you go over that, depending on the person, you might need more, you might need less. It's absolutely fine. And then,
Thank you. Thanks, Ceci. So we will be doing some motivational emails for those of you that join in, just to give you some support and encouragement along the way. We were going to do Facebook, but I think we decided not to since there's some people that are not on Facebook. So we'll get should have your email addresses, and if you want to be part of our tribe for that week, let us know. So basically the goals of the program, hopefully that we have talked to you a little bit about how to jumpstart a healthy eating and exercise program, promote some weight loss if you're interested in doing that, just explain to you about the toxins that are in our environment, the need for us to give our livers and our bodies a break. Be a role model to your family and friends. You know, just by doing something and leading by example, a lot of times people will want to do it with you. And certainly for those of you that have families, I think it's just the right way to eat, and to start teaching your children that these are the habits that you want them to get into and avoid the chronic diseases that we're having in our country everywhere. How you can feel better with the detox and increase community awareness. I think there's more and more things out there about GMO types of foods and the toxins, and so I think the more people that are aware of this, and we try to get some changes in the government and big pharma, the better off we'll all be. So what's next? Well, you can continue the Core Restore program if you want to. There is a little book that I have here. It's called the Clean 14. This is also an additional, it's got some really great recipes in it. It's an additional 2 weeks if you want to continue on with the pretty much the same thing that you've been doing, only this just gives you some additional information. It's basically a Mediterranean anti-inflammatory eating process with vegetables, fruits, fish oil, oily fish, omega-3 fatty acids, and kind of gives you guidelines on how to continue on. So if you want that, pre-order it tonight. We also have our TLC program that will be starting another class up in October, and a sauna. If you want to take part in that, let us know. We have a testimonial that's a really excellent testimonial, but we couldn't get the picture to play. So we decided to let you listen to the lady, even though I can't, unfortunately, get her on there, but I'm going to let you read or hear this. That our TLC program is something Dr. Couri, again, had a vision and passion for, helping people that needed to learn to maybe make some lifestyle changes, that wanted individual counseling through Leslie, our dietitian and coordinator of the program. It's a program that's, again, not a diet, but it is a way to give you coaching and support for a 17-week time period to help you to learn healthy habits and reduce your risk of chronic diseases. And so I'm going to let you listen to this lady.
The TLC program has changed my life in many ways. I have a lot more energy. I feel good every day, and I am pain-free. I used to have a headache every day. Well, probably 5 days a week. I have not had a headache since I started the program. This journey has surprised me by how easy it is. It's not about weight loss, it's about disease prevention. And by eating healthy and exercising. So it's a lifestyle change, not just a diet. The pre-TLC me and the post are two very different people. The pre, I didn't do a whole lot, and I found myself dragging around all day long, which is not a lot of fun. And probably the post-TLC me, I look totally different, I've been told, but I feel so much better. And it is not about the weight loss, it's about how you feel. And for me, it's about the disease prevention. Healthy to me means that I watch what I eat every day, but I'm okay with that. It also means doing more activities with my husband and my family, not yawning all day long like I used to. I do not worry about my health now. I feel amazing. I had to bring down some levels, blood work levels, and I've been able to do that in the 3.5 months that I did the program. So I feel very good. I will continue checking my levels, you know, just as regular checkups, but no, I don't worry about it. My outlook on life now is that I am going to have a whole lot of fun in my mid-age. We're going to have a grandchild in March, so I want to be able to get on the floor and play with that child and go on bike rides and do all sorts of activities. So I am really looking forward to the next part of my life. The staff in office are amazing, a very big support system. The staff, especially Leslie, is amazing. I know it takes the whole team to make this program work, and everyone is good at what they're doing, but Leslie, I have to say, really makes the program. The office staff, every day that you come in, they're very supportive, very helpful, can answer any questions that you have. I would recommend it, which I've already been doing to people, that this is one of the easiest transitions I've ever done with lifestyle change, because it is not a diet, it is a lifestyle change. And my husband and children have converted a little bit, but so have my distant family as well. I talk to everybody that I come in contact with that asks me what I've done. So I do recommend to them to contact Dr. Couri's office.
So this is what's in your Core Restore kit. You'll have the Core Restore Core Support protein. You'll have the Alpha Base, which are very high quality vitamin, multivitamin. You'll have the PhytoCore, which helps with liver, enhances liver detoxification. And then the books and things that you'll need to know how to do the program. I also put a handout in your packet of kind of my ideas of, you know, like Leslie said, just to add snacks in and just recipes and things that I've enjoyed. This last week I've had the organic herb chicken. I love the bean salad. One of my snacks is a rice cake with a little bit of almond butter, and actually this may sound really odd, but there's a recipe in there for a creamy chocolate pudding made with avocado and cocoa powder, and it's really good. So you can, if you like peanut butter and chocolate, almond butter and the chocolate, creamy chocolate avocado stuff is really pretty tasty. The kits tonight, you will also have in your packets a little white thing on the front. If you want to do this, we'd like for you to pre-order tonight so that we can get them in by, hopefully they're going to be in on Friday. There is a 25% discount tonight if you do that. And if you want this little book, it's an additional $2 if you think you might want it, but it's kind of a good little book to have. We've got a little change in our schedule for the wellness series. For the next talk on May 19th will be essential oils, and I think there's a little handout also in your packet on that. So that's a change from the expanded lipid talk about knowing your numbers, which I also forgot to mention back there when I was talking about the body. Really, you should be activated and know what your numbers are and really understand what they are and how you can impact your health by making some changes that'll make your numbers, your cholesterol and inflammatory markers and blood sugar and things like that better. Then we have in September, Hope, our physician assistant, is going to be doing a detoxification with your household products and beauty products. And I think this little girl looks just like Hope, although I don't know that she wears curlers in her hair, but she's sitting back there. We would like you to register for these programs online. So if you're interested, especially the essential oils, go ahead and go online and get registered for that. So as we've said, we pretty much are what we eat, breathe, touch, think, and eliminate. So we hope that this has given you some kind of a jumping off place to start your healthy lifestyle. Spring cleaning, oops, that didn't, oh. Well, what happened? My slides are no longer showing. Well, that's odd. Oh, okay, there's hope. Let's see if it'll go on from there. Okay, there's that one.
All right.
All right, so spring detox, do your yoga, do a little exercise, drink a little warm lemon water in the morning, get a good night's sleep. I forgot to mention how important sleep is, and there's a statistic that says 70% of people with congestive heart failure probably have undiagnosed sleep apnea. So if any of you have any issues with your sleep, get it evaluated. Taking a stretching break every hour, you're going to do your 20 seconds of either sitting like Maggie Smith or running in place. This is your assignment for the detox week, and you can start this anytime, but learn to take deep breaths. It's very, very relaxing. Get your activity. If you can take a relaxation bath at night too, that's also very, very powerful and very mindful. And be sure you're at least getting your veggies in and looking at the beauty around you, because there are so many beautiful, I love redbud trees, and Cheryl found that for me because there's just so much beauty around us that we need to see. So how does one become a butterfly, she asked. You must want to fly so much that you're willing to give up being a caterpillar. So you have to be willing to give up your current lifestyle in order to do the detox. This is my daughter and my daughter-in-law, myself, jumping for joy, and you probably will be doing this just so you can get out of here tonight. But we hope this is how you're going to feel when you get done with the detox and you're jumping into a new life. So we want to thank you for coming tonight, for investing your time in yourselves, and the best is yet to come. So I will, if there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them. You've already tasted the shake. Thank you again, Danny. And Sue, we have giveaways. In fact, should we start with giving this away? If anybody...
Has everybody put in their thing yet?
Oh, you need to put it in? Okay. Does anyone have any questions while we're collecting? I should be doing this, probably. Go ahead.
So I take a lot of vitamins, one approved by you. Should we continue taking all that while you're in detox?
During the detox, we would like you to just do what's in the kit, which is basically a high-quality multivitamin and then the liver detoxification. We want you to continue any prescription medications, but the other supplements for that week, if you'll just, yeah. Good question. But do keep taking your prescription medicines.
This is more of like a diet and nutrition question. Do you recommend soaking like your nuts and your legumes and everything, grains?
Leslie, you can probably answer that, but I have my thoughts.
I think it depends on the person. The more that you soak them, it's easier and it's going to be more easily digestible. So it just kind of depends on the person. I don't have any issue with it at all. I personally like soaked almonds. I think they taste better.
Is the peanut on there because for avoidance for allergy purposes?
Yes, and if any of you have done food sensitivity testing, which we do also offer, and you know, we don't want you to eat anything that you're sensitive to if you know that you have problems with it. So, you know, take that into consideration as well when you're doing the program.
You're seeing a lot about oil pulling right now for gum detoxing. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't have many thoughts on that. Dr. Couri, do you have any thoughts on that?
It's definitely getting more press. There's a lot of information about oil, coconut oil, pulling out bacteria out of the gums, helping with gum health and periodontal disease. I can tell you that I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, and I think that it's, you know, for patients with periodontal disease, there's the theory that a lot of our systemic inflammation starts in our oral cavity, with our gum health. And so I think it's definitely something that is of absolutely no harm and possibly of benefit. If you ask me as a physician if there's any randomized controlled double-blind study on oil pulling, I'll have to tell you, no, not yet. But when I evaluate a potential treatment, I always think, what are the potential benefits for the patient versus the risk? There's absolutely no risk of oil pulling unless you're allergic to coconuts. Then don't use coconut oil. And don't, when you're, so oil pulling is when you put coconut oil in your mouth and swish it around for 15 to 20 minutes and then spit it out. You just don't want to spit it out in your drain because coconut oil will clog your drain. So you want to spit it out in a plastic cup and discard it. But that's the theory behind oil pulling, is it releases the toxins and bacteria from the gums to decrease systemic inflammation and help with gum health.
Thanks, good. We certainly advocate coconut oil to eat, to put on your skin, to use for various female reasons. Yes.
Will this do anything as far as mold?
As far as
Detox?
mold. No, we're not. We are, as far, right, Leslie? She's asking if there's anything in terms of cutting out molds. Is that what you mean?
Detox mold.
I'm sorry.
Well, this detox mold because there's a lot of mold, spores and so forth.
Oh, will the product mold?
Will it?
No.
Will it detox you from mold?
Oh, no, that's not one of the issues or one of the things to avoid or anything. Of course, if you have an allergy to that.
No, it's not avoiding it. Will it?
Yeah, this product
Get
is
rid
not
of it.
detoxifying from mold exposure. If you have mold exposure, you're going to be detoxifying, like with some of the algae, like spirulina and some of the other liver detoxifications. But this product in general is not designed to rid the body of mold.
Yeah. Okay, well, so we'll give away the Goddesses Never Age book first. Do you want me to do it? Okay. All right, we have Pat Berkeley. There you go. A glorious woman. And we've got, this is a very cool book too that Dr. Couri recommends, The New Health Rules. It's a beautiful, it's got just really beautiful pictures in it. It's a mind, body, spirit. Ronna Lee Covington. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay, good. Okay. All right, we're going to give both of them away? Okay. Okay, this is for a sauna, a free sauna. And, this is Gail Rademacher. Hello. There you go.
And you just need to call and set up a time for when you want to come in.
Let's see, we'll do another sauna for Andrea J. Gruler. All right, there you go. You're welcome. We have one more sauna that will go to Anita Wilkinson. There you go. And then we're going to give away a Core Restore kit. And that is going to Heather Berkeley. Right here. Oh my gosh, okay. Mother, daughter? Okay. Oh, wait a second, I'm tied to my cord here. And then one more Core Restore kit. Thanks, Sue. And that goes to Bert Haynes. Okay. Transfer it back to her, thank you. I think that's it. So thank you so much for coming. If you want to order one of the kits tonight, yes, just bring the little white slip that's on your packet up. And do you want them to come right there? Okay, so right there. Or maybe go around the corner to where. Go over around there. Okay.